You know what's better than the promise of awesome upcoming indie games? Not having to wait to play them. I've toiled in the gaming mines to unearth 10 upcoming indie games you can play right now. I put links to everything I cover in the description, so let's dive in. When I hear JRPG with turn-based combat, character customization, and a healthy dose of fan service, I tend to take notice. Voice of Belldona weaves a story of swords, magic, and sci-fi where you fight on randomly generated maps, powering up your team and crushing your enemies. From first-time developer Storycrop Studio, Belldona is set in a world of endless chaos, where the only constant is war. You embark on an adventure to collect resources, buffs, armies, weapons, and deadly skill cards through a series of story missions. The premise sounds fun, but the visuals are what caught my eye. An eye-popping anime aesthetic set against a war-ravaged world is right up my alley. The game's set for full release in late 2024, but there's both a demo and a playtest available right now if you want to check out this game for yourself. I'm always down to check out a haunted house story, and the ever-changing world of Shadows Are Alive is shaping up to be a good one. The developer Futura Games is touting the evolving and shifting nature of this haunted mansion, where you'll have to continually evolve your strategy if you want to escape before the time runs out. What's cool is you play in a team using alter egos, kind of like classes, to outwit the Shift, a dark entity that hunts you. So imagine getting your friends together, skulking around the mansion trying to avoid the Shift, while using everyone's unique alter egos to uncover secrets and make progress. Sounds pretty awesome, actually. If you think so too, you can jump into the playtest right now and check this game out before its October 21st release date. This roguelike with fast-paced gameplay is like nothing else, and that art style is freaking rad. Schismo's Sideshow is whimsical and a bit haunting, but clearly hand-drawn with a lot of love, and that passion exudes throughout this project. It's the debut game from the two-brother development team of Leopard Den. They're taking a different approach to development by releasing what they're calling a living demo, with regular updates and direct community engagement. They just put out a huge update and launched a Kickstarter campaign, so you can support the team at Leopard Den by playing the live demo, giving them your feedback, and of course helping them to fund the rest of the project. The Killing Antidote is a game I've been following for some time. The elevator pitch alone is enough to get my attention. It's a mashup of Resident Evil and Hot Girl Dress-Up Simulator. And while there are a lot of hot girl games out there, this one's different, with just the sheer quality on display. The playtest has a surprisingly high amount of content, with a few hours long campaign, playing as Jody, a freelance investigator who skulks around an old facility infested with the undead. You'll complete puzzles, get new weapons, and of course, pick up an outfit or two. The atmosphere is genuinely creepy with expert lighting, great audio work, and gruesome enemies. The combat is juicy and satisfying as you use a surprisingly large arsenal to take out foes. In that Dead Space head stop? Mwah, chef's kiss. There's also a challenge mode with a bunch of different game types. This playtest alone is beefier than some full-price releases, and I'm here for it. I made a video of my first impressions and some raw gameplay. Check those out if you're curious. There's no full release date just yet, but you can play all of this content right now. Do you like Souls-likes but want a game that mixes up the formula? Well, Hammer of Pain might just be what you're looking for. You play as Silver, the master blacksmith, along with his huntress daughter Nora, set in a medieval world with a really killer pixel art aesthetic. You'll fight through tons of enemies in brutal combat using your hammer. You know, your Hammer of Pain, continually taking on bigger and badder foes with some epic boss fights. Combine that with puzzles, lots of quests, treasures to find, and a deep narrative, and Hammer of Pain, by first-time developer Sleeping Frog, is shaping up to be a fun and challenging adventure. The full release is set for later this year, but you can feel the pain right now with both a demo and playtest available. Collecting monsters is all the rage, but something tells me the monsters you collect in They Speak to Us won't be as cutesy or demure as those in Pokemon. They Speak to Us is a 1 to 4 player co-op horror game where you capture monsters for your employer. The more monsters you capture inside your vault, the more cash you'll earn. It's all in a hard day's work, am I right? Okay, so capture monsters either alone or with friends. Sounds cool, but the vocal hook and what the game's named after is what has my attention. You'll record a voice line at the start of each match that a monster will recite to help you find the variants. Will this add an interesting dimension or fall flat, like Lifeline on the PS2? You can check it out for yourself in the playtest. I've been chasing that mind-bending first-person puzzle fix ever since Portal 2. Oversleep is trying to scratch that itch where you take on a series of puzzle rooms one by one. Developed by Toasted Games, each room has a different scenario and a new physics-based puzzle to solve, like navigating complex mazes, pointing your laser in the right direction, or even the demanding task of fishing up hidden rubber ducks. You'll also find some useful gear like boots that let you jump high, or a power fist that lets you smash objects. I'm definitely digging the good mix of puzzles that, if they can nail over the long run, will make Oversleep something special. There isn't currently a release date, but there is both a demo and playtest available for you to give this game a go. Hell is a terrifying and horrific place for all except Moonbunny. He's the guy with a one-way ticket to heaven but decided to take the express train to hell. You can tell the Georgian developer behind Nobody's Beach isn't taking things too seriously. I mean, the company's named Nobody's Beach, and that's definitely felt throughout Moonbunny, with features like gore and comedy. Love it. You play as the titular Moonbunny who fights through hell to rescue someone. Who? Hell if I know. Now, you're helped by someone with higher powers. Why? Yeah, you got it. I don't know that either. But what I do know is you'll fight through multiple layers of hell, laying waste to anything in your way. The game's slated for full release later this year with a playtest available right now. My favorite era for horror games was the early 2000s. Vague is a first-person psychological horror inspired by that classic era. Developed by SCE Game Studio, you play as Raymond Fisher, a middle-aged man in search of his family who went missing after a car accident. You'll search through the haunted environments, piecing together fragments of forgotten memories, and confronting the shadows of the past to find and uncover the truth. Throughout, you'll solve some very interesting and unconventional puzzles, confronting supernatural enemies, all while piecing together fragments of Raymond's past. The visuals are fantastic, doing a great job of building an unsettling nightmare. The full release is currently slated for the back half of the year, and you can dive into the playtest right now. One of my favorite movies is The Thing, with its building tension and paranoia trying to figure out who is human. Mistery aims to capture that spirit as you play with up to 8 others to collect materials, survive the dangers, and complete tasks, all while knowing that your teammates might not be who they seem. During the day, you'll scavenge for resources, craft weapons, and retrieve batteries. And at night, you'll use what you found to survive the long dark, filled with waves of monsters. But beware, one among you isn't who they seem. You'll want to keep your guard up and pay attention to everyone's behavior, looking for signs of who you can trust, if there's anyone left to trust. Mistery is slated for release later this year, with a playtest available right now. There you have it, 10 upcoming indie games you can play right now. If any of these games look interesting to you, show your support by giving them a spin and putting them on your Steam wishlist. It really helps them out. If you liked the video, hit like and of course subscribe. And if you want more of my gaming thoughts, check out my video right here. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.